Hey, people, it's a midday, mid-evening. I'm saying midday, mid-evening Sunday, trending topics, because we got breaking news. Now, many of you heard it already, may have been on some panels out there that discussed this already. But we're gonna have the conversation over here. I know y'all be looking at, Diva and thinking she crazy. And I had told people too, I said to y'all, I think it was 7 days ago, I said, I don't do the political conversations because I know it gets so polarized, right? But I said, I do know politics. Like I'm not asleep. I don't live under a rock, right? And so I told y'all 7 days ago, and then just real recently, 2 days ago, that this was going to happen. Y'all came for my neck. Y'all dragged me across the coast. Y'all so mean to me. Y'all mean to me. Somebody was in my comments talking about, you don't know politics. It can't happen. It will never happen. He's not going to drop out, so forth and so on. You're a liar. That's what the people told me. Diva, you don't know. See, that's why I told y'all I have to really debate if I'm going to do Project 25, because I also told y'all this. 90% of the stuff in there is already being done. I asked y'all to tell me what Black history they told in schools. Somebody came in my comments and was like, well, Diva, you didn't go to HBCU. That's why you didn't learn Black history. I'm talking about Black history in the schools from K through 12. I do read. But let me go here and say this, right? Let me say this. They been knew way before we knew about Biden's cognitive issues. They been knew. They did. So what their thought process was, part of it, they didn't anticipate. And well, see, let me back up a little bit. They also knew, right, that Trump was going to be on trial before this whole situation. They thought trial, this man going to get a sentence, this man going to get locked up. And they also didn't anticipate that the people that love Trump was going to love him even more, regardless of whether the judge or whatever happened in that courtroom, if they said guilty or not guilty, the people was going to love him even more. See, the thing is with people, you know why a lot of people lose stuff? Because they underestimate their opponent. They underestimated the power of Trump. So then they got trumped, no pun intended, and their back was up against the wall. And when that debate happened, it was an epic fail, and they were scrambling behind the scenes to try to figure out, what do we do now? What do we do now? And to try to get us in a different conversation, I told y'all, I don't care what the rules are, that the man was going to drop out because they had their foot on his neck. They wasn't going to let up. And the reason why they wasn't going to let up is because they were scared that leaving Biden as the face of this thing, they felt like they didn't stand a chance. And you know what? Didn't stand a chance. And Felicia, he's not going to resign. He's not going to resign. They will hold him up. They're not trying to be crazy. What's that weekend at Bernie's? Because all they need is what? What is this? 6 months, however many months? He's not going to resign. He's not resigning. Now, the thing is, people thought that his own friends were not backing him. Thank you, Sebastian. 105 days. Anybody could do 105 days. People thought that his own friends were not backing him. It wasn't that his friends were not backing him. His friends was trying to have honest conversation with him. And I promise what they will do is they will keep him secluded until it's time for him to turn over, and that's it. And then they'll say, well, he can't speak, he's not well, or whatever. But he's not going to resign. He didn't even want to drop out. But they told him, listen, we got you, we love you, but you ain't gonna be able to do this. See, Kingston, you better talk. I tried to tell the people, but what I found out is that, nobody wants to hear the truth. And then what happens is, because we get stuck here, we can't level up our conversation to here. We're stuck here. So Biden puts out his statement, and then Trump puts out this scathing. I thought it was low. Scathing statement about Biden and him dropping out. Thought it was gutter low. The man dropped out. You can't say you wish him well. When what happened to Trump happened, Biden came out and said, let's have unity, let's have peace, let's come together, we're neighbors, we're Americans, no. Biden dropped out, and this man went gutter low on him. We're seeing some sad times, very sad times. And people, and I don't want y'all to get confused. People, just saying vote is bigger than just voting. Is bigger than just voting. And I think when we figure that out, we'll be able to level up just a little bit. It's bigger than just voting. Because we've been voting for years. So that tells you right there is bigger than just voting. And when we have this conversation, I'm not one that says you have to always agree with me, or always agree with this, or always agree with that. But I'm saying that, what we have to start learning to do? We don't have to like the other side of the conversation, but at least be willing to hear it. At least be willing to hear it. You just might learn something. You just be willing to hear it. Every rule that is made, it is made to keep us in check. It's made to keep us in check. And when they want to break it for their benefit, they're going to break it. So the rules are made to keep us in check. They break the rules when they want to, and they always direct the conversation, always. Let me tell you this. I'm going to promise you this. If Obama did what Trump did and got convicted, every single day on every single news station, the conversation would have been different. I promise you that. I'm willing to bet money on that. The conversation would have been different. There's no way on this earth they would have let Obama run if he got convicted like Trump did, regardless of what the rules say. They wouldn't have allowed it. It wouldn't have happened at all. I'll do the flip side. If Obama had cognitive issues like Biden did, he wouldn't have lasted in the office that long. They wouldn't have allowed it. They wouldn't have. So all I'm saying is, as we have these conversations, let everybody speak what they want to speak, say what they want to say, hear the person out, and don't just listen to respond. Listen and maybe get some understanding about the point that the person is saying. Because I promise y'all dragged me across the coals. In the comments afterwards, they was brutal. People told me don't do politics. And here we are today. The very thing I said 7 days ago was going to happen, it happened today. Then 2 days ago, I told y'all that the people said, wait, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. 2 days ago, I told y'all the people said that on Sunday he was going to back down. And here it is Sunday, and he backed down. So people was calling me, oh my God, you shocked? No, I'm not shocked. They said it. I'm not shocked. They said it. They said this was going to be the case. And they gave us hints and clues because they also said that Biden has said if he gets sick, he will drop out. Well, then they came up and said he had COVID. Now, listen, I ain't going to debate left or right, but do you think it's COVID? He said, if I get sick, I'll drop out. He didn't say if they come and say I have cognitive issues, this, that, and that, I'm going to drop out. He said, if I get sick, I will drop out. Then what do they announce at the beginning of the week? COVID. Then what do they announce midweek? He's about to drop out on Sunday. Then what happened on Sunday? He dropped out. See, the clues and the details and the breadcrumbs are always there, but it's like, are you picking up the breadcrumbs and listening? So the thing is now is everybody saying, what do we do? And all I could say is this, is that this is definitely a historic time in history, very historic. And I say to the people, listen, don't panic, read, believe what you read, try to get some understanding into what you are reading, and don't let them fool you by getting you onto trying to put something out there and have you in an uproar. If you dig enough, your understanding know that all the things that are in Project 25, and I said it to you before, but you can go Google and read it yourself, is already happening. Already happening. Already happening. And we've been voting for decades, and it's still happening. So let me go ahead. Well, let me share a screen. Come on, you got to educate yourself, people. Let me share a screen real quick, and then I'm about to bring the people on in the building. Let me see what screen I want to share here. Want to share a screen here. Oh, God. That's my channel there. Let's go. So it's 7 days ago. I got on the same sweater. 7 days ago, we had this conversation, and y'all could go look in my comments. And people told me I was crazy, stupid, don't know politics, the whole 9 yards, right? And I told y'all this was going to happen. Let me go to the videos here, because I want to say it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. I said it's over. Biden's about to withdraw from the race, and I said it was going to happen on Sunday, not because I'm psychic, because there was an article out there that said it. So I'm not psychic. The article out there said it. People call me crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. All kind of stuff. Lost their natural mind. And here it is Sunday. What happened? All I'm saying to y'all is let's have this conversation, but be open-minded to everybody's views, okay? Come on now, Felicia. I'm trying to pull the receipts because y'all love to drag me for filth. I hope the person that told me don't ever do politics again because I don't know what I'm talking about, I hope they in the chat. Okay? I hope they in the chat. Want to tell me I don't know politics, and I'm trying to tell y'all I do know, I do read. Just because I don't have the conversation don't mean I don't know about the conversation. Okay? And listen, and also too, I want to say this. Because I have the ability to to talk both sides. You know, because if I say this one did wrong or that one did wrong or whatever, people just automatically assume I'm voting one way or the other. Don't assume that. Even when I do my stuff here, I know how to be neutral when I need to be neutral. So let me go ahead and bring the people on in the building, because we got a conversation to have. We got stuff to talk about, y'all. But hold on as I bring the people on in. Hold on one second.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Nah, nah. Heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world. With love and compassion. To work alone is to isolate yourself. Without people, there is no emotion. Emotion create compassion, and compassion heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world with love and compassion. That is why our intention have got to be good. Looking at people, we all are teachers, teaching in our own way. Why should we avoid each other? Be afraid to express our desire, because expression is release, and it heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world with love and compassion. Is an island. No one stands alone. We all need each other to survive. Heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world. Love and compassion. Heal the world. Whoa, 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 whoa. Heal our world. Heal the world. Heal the world. Heal the world with love and compassion.
Oh, we got to heal the world. Hold on, let me pause that. We got to heal the world, people. Heal the world with love and compassion. We're going to go ahead and get right into this story. Let me just first share screen and go over what Biden said. And then I want to, I hope I didn't click out of it, guys. Let me just see. Okay, I did not. We're going to go over what Biden said. We're going to go over what Trump said, and then we'll go around and just talk to everybody, okay? Just please, I ask everybody, respect everybody's opinion. Make a comment on the subject and not to an individual person that speaks, okay? So, my fellow Americans, Over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We made historic investments in rebuilding our nations and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling duties as a president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you placed in me. I believe today what I've always had, that there is nothing America can't do. When we do it together, we just have to remember we are the United States of America. So let me go and just add here. I thought that was a good letter there. Let me add here Trump's response, which I thought was just unbelievable. And I don't mean that in a good way. So pretty much, I'm going to read this piece here. Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. Trump wrote on his social media platform, adding, "We will suffer greatly because of his presidency, but we will remedy the damage he has done very quickly. Make America great again." Trump told NBC News in a brief phone interview on Sunday that if he's elected in November, he will fix what Biden has done. Joe Biden is the worst president in the history, the former president told NBC News. He should have never been there in the first place, Trump continued. He should have stayed in his basement. Talking about low. Yeah, right, Felicia, says the convicted felon. Leo, your thoughts?
What's the question? I missed it.
No, it's you. You could just any general, thoughts on this whole situation. It's whatever you want to say. It's no real question.
Okay. Ooh, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm gonna start with saying I'm unaffiliated. I'm not registered with any party. I pretty much vote policy, so it's not about what party someone is assigned to, whether or not they get my vote or not. So with saying that, what I can applaud the Democrats for in this moment, in this secular moment, is that they rallied and they came to their person, and this happened in the Nixon administration as well. They came to their person and let them know, you ain't got it. You need to move aside. And they kept the pressure on. I myself personally, a week ago, because of how politicians are, they ain't caught him on no crime. So I never would have thought he would step down if he ain't facing no legal action. So for Joe Biden's parts, for him to understand and read the room and understand that it's time for him to step down, and he did that, I do support the decision. Like I said, I never would have thought a politician would do that, because in general, if they're not facing criminal charges, I don't care. Even Menendez in New Jersey won't step down, and he is facing criminal charges. It's just not a thing that politicians do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that. They fight to the end. And so obviously, Joe Biden and his behavior demonstrates to me that he understands that he may have some impairment to be able to fight the good fight and win the presidency, and he himself has decided for the best for the party, best for the country, if that's what he think it is, he's going to step down, and I appreciate that. I get that. I appreciate that. I understand that. I'm glad he took ownership, and I say to him, bully on him. He understands with self-awareness, and as far as the country is concerned, he really does care about the country. So, with this move, so I applaud the move. I don't know what that's going to do for their party. That part I don't really know about. I'm not speaking on that part. I don't really know what it's going to do for their party. Mm-hmm. But what I do understand politically, and for the sense of how the Democrats have played their card, it really does speak to how they see the bigger picture and the bigger issues. And I'm here for it.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Leo. In my opinion, you're Rob.
So Trump doesn't have any class. He doesn't have a moral compass. That man is a crook, a fraud, and I want him to be brought to justice. I want people to recognize that we're not voting for just a person. We're voting for our rights here. And you better look at these policies that these people are putting in place. We're looking at who the person is and look at these policies. Because you could be voting against your rights. I don't think any political person is without faults, but I do feel like if we let a certain somebody in office, we are fighting the fight against ourselves. And I just can't see that happen.
I appreciate you, in my opinion. Savannah, you're up.
GreyDiva, hi panel. In this historic event that we are all living through, I have to recognize how Republicans have always played the long game and how they stay and toe the line and stay loyal to party and the donors that make or break policy. But one thing about President Biden, and I do believe that the media and the Democratic Party forced this decision, but I think it was the right decision and it needed to be made because President Biden could not overcome his age and just how fragile he was. And the office of President of the United States, leader of the free world, it ages you. If we all recall when President Obama came in and how he left, how he was tired, withered, and gray. And, President Biden didn't have a movement of supporters and voters behind him, no matter what he did, like President Obama or even JFK did. And I listening to some of the commentators on news, I saw where they were talking, David Axelrod had made a statement that history will be kinder to President Biden than his voters. And I believe that is true because President Joe Biden has been in politics for the majority of his life. And we have gotten to know not only Joe Biden, but his family, his tragedies, his losses. And he's always been, whether you agree with him or not, one of those names, just like John McCain and Edward Kennedy was in Congress, that they will forever be mentioned in the halls. Um, so while I think it is the right decision, I do believe the Democratic Party needs to unite. And if Vice President Harris is the nominee, then we definitely need to do our research, do our homework, um, you know, and get educated about Project 2025. This thing has been in play for years. It's not something that just came out. And I am I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous, but I'm definitely gonna stay alert and get more involved as well.
Okay, thank you, Savannah. Appreciate you. Rita, you up?
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Nervous, yes. But like one of the panelists said about Nixon, I was thinking about that last night. Um, my thing is, yes, well, me, I'm nervous, I'm terrified, I'm scared. But at the same time, there are Republicans stating that they don't want to vote for that person because he's all about self and he wants to be a dictator. January 6th scared me. It's frustrating. But we need to stand up and see what them votes do. Like, come on, guys, let's put our big girl and boy panties on or underpants on. And yes, we're nervous and scared, or I am, I should say, but it's extremely frustrating. But he did bow out gracefully. And the other one is Biden already said everybody needs to calm down. You know, this is not what we're about. When all that stuff happened, what, like a week ago? And he's still just in the gutter. Like, people checked on you, dude, and you're still just like, oh, screw him. You're in the basement. So I just think we need to, okay, get some confidence about ourselves and let's see what those votes do. And we need to rally up and stick together. Whatever side you're on is fine, but it's just because I already saw, I'm not going to say the state, but they declined for having the right to, if something were to happen to you via the R word or via incest, they already turned that down for women. And I'm just like, women, we're getting turned down left and right about certain stuff that's important. Like if you have a miscarriage and, you know, so there's a lot of factors. Yes, I'm nervous. Yes, I'm scared. But yes, we need to stand up. It's not like we haven't, of people of color, haven't been through a lot of stuff for years. And we can make a change. Let's rock and roll. Let's see what those votes do. Let's get out there and talk to each other, make each other feel a little more comfortable, or, you know, it's not shocking, but it is. He did bow out gracefully. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. And thank you guys.
Thank you. Rita, I appreciate you. And this is just a comment and a thought process to everyone. It starts before we vote, right? Because once we go to vote, whatever policy is already out there, and it's either we voting on this or we're voting on that. So when I say it starts before it votes, you got to hit these people where it hurts. Everybody is about the bottom line, the dollar, money, right? And if you want to know the biggest consumers in the world, it's in the Black community. Spend a lot.
Yes, ma'am. The day I went to vote for the rights for women to, if something were to happen to them, and I'm not going to say it on your channel,
Uh-huh.
It was closed. It was closed. I said, wait a whole minute. What do you mean it's closed? And I'm in Ohio, and I'm like, whoa, what do you mean it's closed? And we were out there in droves, even though it did pass in Ohio for people to, because as a person that had fertility issues, I'm like, so you mean to tell me I can't have certain things done medically but it did pass in Ohio, but the place that we were supposed to go vote was closed. I called everyone, so it's just like it's frustrating, but it is frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but again, I'm gonna say this. There's leg work and footwork that needs to be done before these policies and procedures even get on the table, right? And there's things that if we come together and we stand together and do it, change can happen and it will happen. Emmanuel, you're up.
All right, so I got a lot to say.
Mhm.
First of all, y'all owe Diva the biggest freaking apology because y'all were coming after her. Even in that video, Diva, that you did a few days ago, like you said, where remember the reports were saying literally he will drop out on Sunday. Everyone was like, I ain't believing it. It's not from the camp. Well, look at what happened now. I also want to say a massive I told you so to everyone because when we had this conversation, people were coming at me simply because I said, let's get a Democratic nominee that can speak, that can finish a sentence. So I told y'all so. And I'm glad this happened. Look, I'm 21 years old, and this is the first presidential election I will be able to vote in, and 41 million Gen Zers will be eligible. They're going to have the opportunity to vote as well. And the reality is, Biden was not going to get the youth vote, mainly because he allowed for us to be arrested at our university protests, but mostly because he doesn't energize none of us. And Sebastian, he probably told you himself, us young people are tired, and we're not going to allow these baby boomers to continue to ruin our country. Y'all want to know something interesting? Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Biden have all been baby boomers. So the fact that if Kamala wins, she'll be the first president in decades to be younger than 60 is insane. This is the problem, though, when you have uneducated people like Whoopi Goldberg going on national television and saying, I will vote for him even if he can't say two words. What type of message is that? I find it to be ridiculous. I personally knew it was game over when Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Obama, and Hakeem Jeffries got involved because when they get involved, it's game over. Now, with all that being said, I'm very excited that Kamala is the presumptive nominee and I endorse her and back her 100%. My message to the Democrats is we finally got a real candidate. We finally got someone who can debate, and we need to get behind her and make sure that she wins. Like Rita said, let's get out there and get the votes. It's not going to be easy. This is a sexist country. It's a racist country. So the last thing they want is a woman of color. But if all of us get out and vote, if all that Obama coalition gets out and we get those votes, we can win because there are more Democrats than Republicans in this country. All we got to do, you guys, on November 5th, go out and vote. Trump should be a super easy person to beat. He's been impeached twice. He's a convicted felon. He's been found liable for SA. He inspired an insurrection. Yet he's been beating Biden in all the swing states, which are Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, and even like Nevada and Virginia. So I hope that those numbers change. My only concern is this. The first debate was 24 days ago. 24 days ago, you guys. Do y'all realize how much we could have gotten done in 24 days? But anyway, better sooner than later. I can't wait for Kamala to swipe the floor with Trump at the debate because she will. She has a lot of policy experience, and I hope that she says to him, I used to prosecute criminals like you. And like even me talking about Kamala right now, like I'm super excited, much more than I ever was with Joe Biden. So let's get behind her. Let's vote. Let's not allow policies that will destroy this country to happen. They want America, their vision of America is a white, fascist, racist, Christian country, and we cannot allow that. Don't fall for it, you guys. You're trying to pin us minorities against each other. Um, I'm not going to thank Joe Biden for dropping out because it took a lot of convincing for him. But what I would love for him to do, this probably won't happen, but I would love it if he would resign now and allow Kamala to become the 47th president. But anyway, this should never happen again. And my last message is vote blue down ballot. That's all.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Sebastian, you're up.
Okay, Emmanuel is absolutely correct in the beginning when he's mentioned about Diva deserving an apology. Diva deserves an apology from every single one of the passengers here. She deserves an apology. If not, she has to revoke your tickets because this is insane the way y'all treated this woman these past couple of days. Said she don't know nothing, she doesn't know politics, oh she needs to go look back into certain things. No, she was absolutely correct, and I expected this. The reason why I expected for Biden to drop out, even though when they went to Camp David and had a family reunion or whatever, I expected this because once you heard the Democratic donors, the big ones, they were pulling their money, Diva. They were pulling their money and saying they're not going to be putting money back here anymore. And the biggest thing that was the most shocking part was the George Clooney op ed in Washington Post, where he mentioned the fundraiser before the debate. Biden was very weird over there. And then after the debate, he clearly saw that Biden could not be running for president. Also, I saw this, me personally, I didn't, this was not going to work out. This was not going to work out at all. Biden should have never went in this election, the 2024 election. He should have never went through with it. Personally, I feel this may open a conflict of interest because delegates are assigned already. um People voted, well, somehow an uncontested primary was done, and he was already picked presumptively by delegates, well, people. This is going to be very, very messy. The media is going to make this very messy, especially since the Democrats are campaigning about Trump being a danger to democracy, which I have some beliefs, yeah, he is, but they're not even practicing democracy within themselves. So this is going to be a very messy thing that we're going to see in the next couple of weeks. And I'm not going to be shocked if we start hearing some of the aides in the current White House start resigning in the next few weeks, and some start running to the press and start leaking certain things. And Emmanuel is absolutely right on Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi, this is the thing. The View went away as soon as Barbara Walters walked away. There has not been a View anymore. Okay? And Diva follows the styles of Barbara Walters. She allows everyone's views to be on her channel. She allows people to have their own sense of individuality, which does not exist in echo chambers. Some people just want you to say, vote blue, or vote red, vote red. No, you should just educate yourself on each candidate, make your decision on who you want to vote, learn learn what each party is standing for, make yourself educated on each candidate. And one day, this is how we're supposed to be, because we need a united country. And we can truly be united when we have differences of opinions. But we all know that even though we have differences of opinions, each of our opinions are a form to we're trying to resolve situations. We may have different ways of resolving them, but that's how we should think. We cannot endorse violence of any kind, no matter how it's done. January 6th, assassination attempt, whatever. Violence of any kind is never okay. And we need to hold our politicians accountable. Even though we like them, we still should be able to say something bad about. We still should be able to say things that they're not doing good without being criticized. When Diva said something about Biden, y'all pulled in this chat and said she's a Trump supporter. Y'all need to give her an apology. Just because she said something, y'all were all up in your arms. I want to know, do y'all have this energy at your job? Oh, I forgot. Some of y'all are probably on your phones at your job, but okay. Um, it's not okay. It's not okay at all, the fact that we're living in a more divisive environment. We're being very more polarized. And people like to blame it on 45. People like to blame it on multiple things. But me personally, who I'm going to blame for the polarizing of our country is the media. I'm going to blame the media for the polarization of our country because the media has gone from giving the news to now giving opinion based news, and they give the news in their ways, which is why you can go on different news networks. You can go to CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. They will give it to you three different ways, which is a problem. We need unbiased, fact based, fully fact based news. Give us both sides to everything. I've read, and Diva's absolutely right on Project 2025. I've read all of it, the whole 900 pages of it. I was tired after reading it. Um, Most of it's already in here anyway, but it's okay. And I understand that many people are emotional about this. And it's very concerning what's going to happen in these next couple of weeks, considering, you know, the campaign finances are already established and stuff. And, you know, some laws will have to be amended or, you know, ignored for certain things to take place. I do agree with Emmanuel. I think Joe Biden should resign from the presidency because it would make so much more sense. It would make so much more sense for Kamala to be president instead. And I love how so many people are saying me and Emmanuel are young. I know some of y'all wish you could come back to our ages to correct the wrongs that you've made in life. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. But um, it's completely okay. I 100% believe that we need to unite this country again. And with uniting this country, we can truly have it again. We can truly have the greatness of America, the country that my parents came to, the country that this is what we're supposed to be, the free world. This is what we're told is the free world. And now people cannot voice their opinions without being judged and calling them different names because of their ages and stuff. I'm talking to y'all in the chat. Y'all want to age shame me? It's okay. It's fine. Y'all can age shame me. But I wish I know this. I probably have done great things during my age. I wonder what y'all were doing at my age. Diva, I need to get water. I'll be back.
All right. E, you're up.
um, you know, Savannah said something that I thought was key, and I want the blue party to take heed. She said Republicans have always played the long game and they remain loyal to the party. And I agree. And I think that's something that we need to make sure that we are sticking to come November. That's what I want to see over here. Remain loyal to the party and stop getting sidetracked and distracted by people saying, look at both parties. That's a distraction right now. We already know what's over there on the other side. We're trying to avoid that. When people say, everything that's in Project 2025 is already happening, yeah. But even after all of that, we still need to vote blue. I don't understand. What's that have to do with anything? It's been happening. That type of conversation is counterproductive, in my opinion. I've been getting fat since COVID. Does that mean I can't wake up today and say I'm going on a diet? No. When we stand up and say we need to make a change, we don't need to be ridiculed and have fingers pointed in our face and tell us, well, it's been happening for a while. Well, everything happens for a while until we say not anymore. And everybody deserves the opportunity to get up and say, we're going to stop doing this right now. As for me, I do wish that Biden would have held on for 100 or so more days and then step down. Whatever medicine they would have needed to give him, I wish they would have kept on doing that. When the announcement came out today that he was stepping down, it was sickening to me how many men have already come out on social media, and Black men also have come out already putting this woman down because it's just inevitable. And now it's blatant in our face, just as it was when Clinton and Trump were going against each other. This country doesn't like women. And we were talking backstage, and it was said that the country did not want Clinton, white woman Clinton. So it's a strong doubt that we will get Black woman Harris. And I'm paraphrasing, but to me, that stems from white supremacy, where white women, Black women, the Latin community, and Black men seem to cower when it's time to stand toe to toe against what we're being faced with right now, this form of brutality, because that's what it is. And all of this, when they go low, we go high, all of that nonsense is outdated right now, because these type of men, they are predators and they are conditioned to be hunters. And in our community, we are teaching our men in this community to, kind of back down and be more easygoing and be more approachable, and that will extend their life expectancy. All men in this country, though, seem to cower to the white one. And when women step up, because we are tired of looking at this foolishness, and ultimately we rear children and we want to have a safe place to live. We want to have a place that we can afford. We want to have a place that is our voice is going to be heard, and not so much so that we have to do everything that these judges who were appointed by the members of the white supremacy put into place. Our rights are being taken away. And so when us as women, when we stand up and say, let's do this, we get a slap in the face, and we're being told, oh no, we can't have this type of woman. When Hillary came up, no, we can't have that type of woman. When it comes to Kamala Harris, no, we can't have that type of woman. And I'm so tired of hearing that we have to be perfect. It cannot be a stain on our dress. And meanwhile, the orange one is up here with 1.5 ears left, mud all over his shoes and Cheeto crumbs on his hands and anger in his heart. But you're telling our country, you're telling our young girls that you have to be perfect to go up against something like that. No, you don't have to be perfect. You have to be victorious. That's what you have to be. Don't tell me that the Democratic Party has to have a perfect candidate, because perfection does not win elections. Nice does not win elections. Whoever the Democrats put on their ticket, I'm voting for them. I'm voting for them. And whoever they put on that ticket better obliterate the MAGA campaign, because Trump is a RS. He violates women. He's a convicted felon. He's twice impeached. We've already seen what he can do. So the fact that we have such short attention span sometimes, we seem to forget what a whack job he did the first time, it completely blows my mind. I don't want any residuals of what he has done left after November 3rd or whatever date it is. I want this over with. People talking about we need to look into both sides. No, we need to get rid of that other side. And I'm tired of being nice about it, because why do I need to be nice when they're not nice? What do they do? What do they say that's nice? You just read the statement about what he said about Biden. That wasn't nice, but then I have to get up here as the blue side and I have to be nice? No, I don't think so. The last time we were here, somebody came up here talking about faith tells me women can't lead. Well, if your faith was presented before you by your ancestors, by a white man, and they attended a church displaying a white Jesus with blonde hair and blue eyes, and they prayed to this figure for salvation and mercy, you may want to rethink everything you thought you knew before. These men, they hold up this book and they condemn everything they look down upon, and then go out and they start wars. They strip foreign lands of their resources. They steal resources. But when it comes to Hillary, the only thing they wanted to keep badgering us with was these deleted emails. Forget those emails. You're still breathing, aren't you? The emails are gone now. Forget those emails. I'm talking about an entire country right now. And then even today, somebody said, well, and it wasn't here, but somewhere in the chat about Kamala, we can't let Kamala get in. Why can't we let Kamala get in? They're talking about her record in California. Do you know how long ago that was? People have evolved. Whenever we talk about Kamala's record, we need to talk about Trump's record. I think Kamala is just what we need right now. We need a woman in the office right now, because men have taken us to hell and back, and we only have so much time to fix it, and only a woman can get the job done.
I appreciate you, E. Let me just throw this out there. I'm coming to you, Dustin. Give me a minute. Let me throw this out there, and that's why I'm saying that the groundwork starts way before we vote, right? So people don't even accept women bosses at Target, Walmart, corporate America, the bank. They don't. People don't accept women in position on the lower level, but we say, oh, let this woman be accepted on a high level. Everything starts on the ground. So we can say what we want, and we can always say what should be right and what should be fair and what we need time for. But the thing is, a female won't even be accepted in Target as a manager. A female won't be accepted as a CEO in XYZ company. So what I'm saying is that we got to do some groundwork because it starts on the bottom and then it will trickle its way up to the top. But if you don't stop with the people, women being accepted on just low-level jobs on the ground, how do we even expect it will ever be accepted way on the top? These are diva thoughts. Diva thoughts, yeah. And listen, you get a female boss in the Target, right? And you get a male boss. The female boss could say the same thing the male saying, and the people will come at your neck, the female, for saying the same thing the male said. In the boardrooms, all of that. We are lacking in leadership, period. Period. And then people want to wonder why we can't accept it at the highest job. You know, it's just going to happen. Yeah, you can say new day, but everybody's not doing the footwork for it to be a new day. There's
But
many
Diva, can I ask you something?
Give me a minute. Give me a
Okay.
minute. And so there's many jobs. Come on, if we want to talk, let's talk. The women are still underpaid. Yes, we are. So it's like the fight has to start at the level where we know we can definitely make change. And that's our level where we're at today, to see more females in leadership. Even when it comes to doctors, when it comes to surgeons and all of that, you got more male doctors than you would ever have a female doctor. And a lot of people won't even, they'd rather go to a male doctor over a female doctor. So I'm glad we're having these conversations. I'm glad we're having these conversations because they need to be had. But we got to think about sometimes, and this is just all of us, you know, we get hyped up over like the immediate stuff. But when you pull back the weeds and you do the groundwork, that's when you understand and you see, okay, where does this start at? I'm saying it starts at home. I'm saying it starts at the beginning, right? We can all say, listen, we're ready for something, but history shows that we're not ready for something. If everybody can understand what I'm trying to say. So I get it, but it's a lot of work that needs to be done, and this work needs to be done. Come on, Ruthie, you understand what I'm saying? Even with in nursing, it's just so much. It's so much more work that has to be done, and we have to do it on the ground level. And I bring up Project 2025 because many people were screaming. They were screaming like, oh my God, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And all I said was, well, it's been happening. And I'm not saying don't wake up and make change. I'm saying because they now put it on paper, y'all just now realizing this is happening. Of course you want change, but for everybody now to be screaming, oh my God, this, that, and that. My only point, just like everybody screaming now, oh my God, just that and that. I'm screaming, well, that been going on. So did you just wake up today and started caring? So everything they do is strategic. They know how to definitely. Lisa, can you turn off your camera? It's getting a little distracting there. Okay, there you go. That's better. You know, everything they do is strategic. They definitely know how when they want to change the temperature in the room, they definitely know what to throw out there to change the temperature in the room. And they also know come on now. I told you people have to comprehend. They have to comprehend it. And they also know how to distract us from the task at hand. We will be having this same conversation 30 years from now if people don't realize it starts at the ground and you got to work its way up. Dustin, you're up?
Can you hear me, Diva?
Yes, I can hear you.
I have a lot to say on this topic tonight, Diva, because I do believe that Kamala Harris is running the country now, and that's just my opinion. Kamala, there ain't no way that Joe Biden has been running our country. Joe Biden has not been doing a damn thing for this country since day one. It's my opinion only. I think that we would be in a better place if Kamala Harris takes over, and I hope that she does win. Because this is our day. This is a day in history, Diva. July 21st, 2024 is a day in history. Because I never expected him to drop out, and I don't think, and I believe that everybody on this panel wants to see changes, which I do. I want to see changes as well, and I do believe that has to be deeper changes, not only in leadership. There has to be deeper changes in everything. But I do believe that Kamala Harris has been in the country since day one. I don't believe that Joe Biden has done anything for this country since he took office in 2024, and I do in 2020, and I do believe that we are in a worse situation now than what we were in 2020, and I think that Kamala Harris could turn that around for us. And if Kamala Harris, if she gets reelected or gets elected, that will be a day in history because we haven't ever had a person of African American or a person of color a president.
Thank you, Dustin. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Diva.
Ronald, where would you get this from? You got to tell me how you came to that conclusion. That I'm trying to say that. I don't. You got to talk to me. I never said anything about it being pointless to vote. Period. And I'm not saying it would be pointless if that's who you want to vote for her. I don't see how you came to that conclusion about the words that came out of my mouth. What I said though was that traditionally and historically, just across the board, Walmart, Target, the bank, wherever, that people don't like females in charge. They say we emotional.
Even females themselves sometimes don't like females in charge.
Well, that's another story in and of itself, Sebastian, but it's true. So they say we emotional. They say all kind of things. Too passionate, gotta go take care of the kids. So okay, so you're saying, you asked me, are you trying to say it's pointless? No, I hope that you aren't. I'm not. All I'm saying is that historically, people they have patterns, right? People like to go by what they know. And so I'm saying what people know is, in general, that for most things, a lot of women are not in charge and haven't been in charge. And am I saying, oh, they shouldn't? Listen, I'm a female. Would I really be saying that? No. So because they feel that way and men rule the world, 9 times out of 10, who are they going to want up in there? They're going to want another male. And they got, if you want to know traditionally, the lowest person on the totem pole, they're going to tell you is a Black female. This is not Diva saying it. I'm Black.
It's the truth. You're right.
Right. They're going to tell you the lowest person on the totem pole is a Black female. They will also say that the most disrespected person in the world is a Black female. Lisa, you're up. You're on mute, babe.
How y'all doing today? Hi,
Good.
Diva. Hey, Sebastian. Yes, I mean, for me, I'm an independent voter because I vote for both parties. And this time and last time, like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter. Never will be. Even his VP, I'm not liking what he's saying. He said a woman should stay in a violent marriage. That's not good to say. That's not good for the kids. If a woman stay in a violent marriage, he have said that over and over again. Plus, he have said awful things about Trump in the past. So I'm supposed to believe that you on board. It's not cool for me. So I had already been planning on voting for Biden. And if I say I didn't vote for Biden, I'm going to vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. I know I was not going to vote for Trump. I know that. But also, for my thing of it is, people don't not know about this, Diva. I don't know if they know it for sure. Biden is not a good debater. He last election they went up for a debate. He lost that. But what did he turn back around and do? He beat Trump in election. He beat Trump in election. Okay, and I believe he was gonna wipe the board with him this time too, because I believe he got a lot of Republicans behind him on it. Because a lot of Republicans they may say stuff in public. Because Joe, I don't know if y'all watch this in the morning. Joe Scarborough on MSNBC, he have said he said a lot of Republicans say a lot of stuff in public behind closed doors. They talk about Trump like a dog and say they not gonna vote for him. So I really do believe that, and also I really do believe that he was gonna wipe the floor with Trump this thing, but he said he gonna give it up to Kamala Harris. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't believe she's gonna win, but I am gonna support her. I'm gonna support her. I'm gonna support my black sister. And I'm gonna vote and I'm gonna put it on my social media that I'm backing her all the way to Kamala Harris 2024. Here we come. I'm hoping she get it. And I'm all about the black girl magic. That means us black sisters out there. Us black sisters. Light skin, dark skin, all of us. We got to go to the polls in November and put our black sister, support our black sister, even our black male brothers out there. Support your black sister. Put her in the office. Believe me. We got to support her because I promise you, the other side, Project 25, some like you said, Diva, some of it is always going on, but the real truth, they will talking about making all changes. They talking about change all federal government. They want to get rid of the Constitution. And our democracy is at stake. And like the other one said, I'm nervous, but I'm not really nervous now because I know who God's in control. They said when you know God's in control, I ain't no reason you to be nervous, baby. And so that's what I'm putting. That was I'm from baby. I was like what? No, he didn't step down, but I understand he had pressure on his back. He had pressure on his back, so he said, well, "Look, him and Jill probably talked, and Jill probably said, baby, they want you to step down. Go ahead, step down.' So he gonna step down. So here we come, Black Girl Magic coming through, y'all." And y'all know you already know she AKA. The AKA is gonna be out there in November. I wanted to be an AKA, but I didn't go to the college to be an AKA. I had drop out of college. I had raised kids, but in for my sister. So Black Girl Magic coming through, y'all. We coming through to November. We can get the Oval Office too. I want to see her take the Oval Office in 2025. And be the first woman ever to break that glass ceiling in United States of America. Can we get some votes and can we get an amen on that? Black Girl Magic coming through.
All right. Thank you. Lisa. Listen. Thank you, Celine. That's so nice to say. She says it's never too late to go back to college and have your dream of becoming an AKA. So we root for you, Lisa. Okay, you want to be an AKA? I ain't mad at you. Anybody else want to speak on this subject? Let me just show something.
I do.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay, no problem. I'll let y'all speak. Just give me a minute. Let's just hear this real quick. It's only 2 minutes.
Before I go to you, I want to read a little bit from a phone call that our own Garrett Haake had with former President Donald Trump. He told Garrett, Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of the United States by far. There has never been a president who has done such damage to our country, from energy independence to letting in millions and millions of illegal immigrants. Again, this is Donald Trump speaking to Garrett Haake. We'll fix what he has done, he said. And when Garrett asked him if he was surprised by the announcement that Joe Biden would be stepping aside in this campaign. He said he should have never been there in the first place. He should have stayed in his basement. This comes on top of quite a bit of reporting. You heard of Joe Scarborough a moment ago talking about the fear that the Trump world might have on a disrupted ticket, but also Tim Alberta's reporting that the Trump campaign had one opponent in mind, had strategized against one opponent, had one campaign against one opponent, and that opponent was Joe Biden. They weren't preparing for anybody else. And now they've got someone else. Mike, tell me about what happened at the White House today. Any conversations between the president and the vice president?
I'm told from a source familiar with the matter, Katie, that the president did speak with Vice President Harris today ahead of his announcement of his decision to step aside to no longer seek a second term as president of the United States. This came within moments of what we saw, obviously unfurling the letter first from the president, making that decision public, and then second, a tweet announcing that he was indeed supporting the vice president for this seat now. And this is really a remarkable development at a time when President Biden's every impulse over the last 3+ weeks since that debate in Atlanta has been to fight. He had strived to this office of the presidency for most of his adult life. He entered the Senate in 1973, more than 51 years ago. This was something he had sought multiple times, 1988, 2008, thought about running in 2016, and then, of course, ran successfully in 2020. And as one longtime Biden advisor had put it to me throughout our conversations over the course of the past few years, once you're in this office, you don't just walk away.
Take a look at what happened.
Whew. Okay, who wanted to add more to the conversation? Go ahead, Sebastian.
Me also, Diva.
Okay.
I wanted to say that I see a lot of people are a little animated after my responses because I don't play when it comes to talking about my age or my generation. I'm very defensive when it comes to my generation and age because we're one of the most. My generation is the most important generation in this whole country. We are one of the most diverse generation. We are one of the most accepting generations. We are one of the most loving generations. So when people come after that, you're coming after diversity, you're coming after equity, and you're coming after inclusion when you come after my generation or my age. So I think that some people are going to think that I'm going to say an apology after this. No, I'm not. I completely stand by all my previous comments. Y'all just wish you could be my age again so y'all could wrong your mistake. Right your wrongs. Thank you.
Okay, you already know you polarized the people, Sebastian, and they mad at you and they said you was being disrespectful and coming for their neck. Listen, again, everybody, we just letting everybody have their word in their conversation. Emmanuel, you want to speak, and then Rita, I'm gonna come back to you.
I wanted to say, because someone mentioned it, Hillary Clinton should have became the president. If she had, we would be in a much different world. We would have had 3 liberal judges. The pandemic wouldn't have been as bad. We would have a great economy. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, we can correct our wrongs this year. My question is to Diva. You were talking a little bit ago about it starts like at the base level, right? My question to you is this. Don't you think that perhaps going to the big one and making the highest office of the land be occupied by a woman is a great first step, and then it kind of trickles down?
It's not going
to. Like,
I hear what you're saying. That would be nice, right? But it's not going to trickle down that way. When you have, there's a lot of people that they'll have one conversation publicly, and then behind closed doors, they have another conversation. When Obama did Obamacare, there were a lot of political figures.
You better speak on that, Diva.
Come on, who were utilizing Obamacare, but in the face of it, they was talking negatively about it. They would go and talk negative about it, but in behind the scenes, they actually was utilizing it, right? And it wasn't until the people start calling them out and saying, well, don't you have Obamacare? Some of them was starting to change their words and their language and their mind about it, right? So I'm saying that to say what? People are, for lack of a better word, they're of two minds. Okay, layman terms, people go two-faced. They'll say one thing to the public, but then they're doing something else behind the scenes. So what I'm saying to you is also people kind of have traditions in which and I'm not talking about traditions, every Christmas we eat turkey. I'm talking about traditionally your mindset thinks a certain way. If I am used to seeing something, right? I'm used to, like, when I go to the movies, I could buy popcorn, this, that, and the other. I'm thinking when I go to the movies, I should see popcorn, this, that, and the other, right? So traditionally across the board, if your whole life, your whole working life, every time you go see a manager, most managers are men. Every time you do this and somebody's in charge, it's a man. If you go look up right now for most hospitals, most insurance companies, most Targets, Walmarts, if you see the top high level people, 9 times out of 10, most of them that's occupying those spots are going to be men, right? So already you got this mindset and this platform that the men are the ones that can do it. You saw that guy, I think he was an NFL player. You saw what his thought process was. My wife should be home with the kids, cooking, so forth and so on. So you have to work this thing in with the people. People have to see on every level that, oh, a female can do it. She's running this, they're running that, they're doing this, so forth and so on. There's that song, Men Rule the World. It's true, right? And so I'm just saying to you, this is not me saying don't vote for somebody, but I am saying to you that if they didn't even pick Hillary, and they focused on, as E said, some email. Do you think they're gonna pick Camilla? Do you think they're gonna pick her?
Well, here's the thing about Hillary. It's been proven that if we were to gather all of the votes from the people that stayed home and who stupidly voted third party, she would have had enough to win. And that's why in my commentary I said the answer is just get out and vote. And she won the popular vote. So it also goes to my point that we are more liberal as a country. So we should not allow the minorities of, like, the minority radical right to control the country.
But Diva's kind of right, because also Diva's mentioning something that she's also mentioning we're not a direct democracy. We're not, like, just because more people support something, we don't automatically get that. We're a republic. Therefore, both the minority and the majority are equally represented. So she is kind of right on, yeah, they did not support Hillary. How do you think they're really going to support Kamala like that? Me personally, I don't mind whoever is the nominee of the Democratic ticket. But it's that's what I think, that's what Diva's mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah. Rita, you wanted to add?
Yeah, no, when I said about, because I'm in Ohio and the place that we were supposed to go vote was closed, I did call the mayor. I did call the governor. So I was trying to do the footwork, and I'm calling my neighbors like, did you realize they were closed? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, they were closed, but oh, well. And I'm like, no, not oh, well. What? It is extremely frustrating. You can't make people do something they don't want to do. My thing is, the man that's a Republican, and Republicans said Republicans said they won't vote for him because he's all for self. He said he wanted to be a dictator. He held the Bible upside down. He said 2 Corinthians. Baby, last month when I went to church, it said 2 Corinthians. I don't know. So they said, well, what's your favorite Bible quote? What is the shortest Bible quote? Jesus wept. You couldn't even say that. This man is a felon. He R's people like it. I'm just extremely frustrated. Like, what don't you see? Do you want to take the rose-colored glasses off, or do you just want to see what you want to see, just to say I voted and you can't ever go to Walmart because in the frozen aisle section you're going to be called the N-word? Like, it is, and I literally at 7:35 in the morning. My Walmart opens up at 6. Someone didn't come in and and in the N-word, and I'm just, it's so frustrating. And like I said, I'm terrified, and I try to educate people. Just because you get knocked down one time, you're not gonna get back up. You're not gonna read and look at certain things. It's really important. Like, I'm voting for myself and my now teenage daughter, and it's not is Republican or Democrat. I vote for whoever sounds the best to me. And it might not be either. But then when they have to get canceled out, then it's like the less of the two evils. And then I have to take a Tums. So it's just, we need to get out and vote. We need to talk to our neighbors. Whoever you want to vote for them, whatever. But have the education behind it. Don't just blindly go out there and just like, well, this is the person, I'm just going to check this. Or this is the person, I'm just going to check this. Let's be mindful of how we vote. And like I said, in other states, the Supreme Court is voting no on pro-choice. And it's just like, dude, you're a guy. You're not a woman. You don't know what we go through. And it's extremely frustrating. So I'm Gen X. I'm just trying here, but like when I could vote and they would call and say, hey, who are you voting for? I don't know this man, but I would keep saying Dukakis. I don't know him from a grain of salt. But for years, they stopped calling me until recently. And I'm like, Dukakis, this man probably committed all kinds of felonies. But just to get them off my back, I would just say something just so they can stop calling me. But we need to do our homework, be mindful. We might be scared now, but let's go. Let's get out there and vote. Let's read. How about we read? How about not even race-wise? Who are the most important people in this vote? Women. Come on, women. If nothing else, come on, women. We know how to get some stuff done. So that's all I have to say. I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but women, come on, guys. Whoever you vote for, come on, women. Thanks, Diva.
You're welcome. So Elite Leo said Trump has said that he'll give law enforcement total authority. I'm going to let y'all choke me because y'all do it anyway, and I'm okay with it. They have total authority now.
They do, but he wants.
Let me finish. In my opinion, I'll come to you. They have total authority now. He supports stop and frisk. They all support it without saying it now.
It still exists. Stop and frisk still exists. The fact that people think it's gone, no, it still exists. Why do you think? What are pat downs?
He'll appoint the youngest conservative judges that he'd be allowed to appoint to serve a lifetime. They darn near serve a lifetime now. I mean, all I'm saying to people is that I guess because it's written and that's odd to me. I guess I can't get over that. I guess like it has to be written, but even sometimes when it's written, people still don't believe it. You know, they're pushing out to distract. This is a distraction. It's a distraction. Because the truth is, all of this happens now. The other day, I did a video where the kid was jaywalking and got arrested. In the most kindest way he could, he was like, well, what did I do? What am I being arrested for? And then when they told him, he was like, all right. They do what they want to do. It exists now. My thing is, at what point are we going to say that these things exist and how do we change that? If you think that just a vote is going to change that, then I say, God help us all. God help us all. When you vote, and by the time you voted, it's too late to change anything. It's A or B.
And also, it's not just that, Diva. Remember, every time we hear the president promises things, any president, Republican or Democrat, they cannot fulfill those said things without Congress.
Come on now.
And you need 60 votes in the Senate to get these things done, which is most likely not going to happen because of our Senate is split. Like sometimes 55-45. 52. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop listening to fear mongers. That's basically what I'm telling y'all.
That's what's going
Read
on.
the Constitution.
And what happens is once you start to fear, you can't even think straight. You don't operate. You don't comprehend. And so it's like we have to look at things and say, okay, how do I make a change in this area? In my opinion, you was trying to say something. Who sounds like a Trump supporter? I don't know.
I feel like we all are not listening to the thing that's going on for real, the policies, and that's the part that I want everybody to focus on. It's the policies. If I really want y'all to know, if this man get in office, he already told y'all, if he don't get in there, it's gonna be a bloodbath. If he do get in there, the first thing he's gonna do is let his heroes that did the January the 6th erection out, because it's a defeat among everything for them to be locked up. I don't understand how nobody supports this man. I really don't. I can't understand for the life of me how y'all sit here and hear this. Hold on one second.
Anybody else? Oh, go ahead. In my opinion. Oh, go ahead.
I don't understand how people sit here and hear this man talk. He never answers the question right. Even in debate, when they was asking him, if you lose, will you take the loss? He turned it around and was trying to decode that and say, oh, well, I never said I didn't lose, but it was fraud. It's the way he talks. He talks in circles. That man never gives you a conclusive answer. That's how the devil works. The devil is in confusion. God doesn't move in confusion. Everything is straightforward. This man ain't straightforward a day in his life. He's ran his business by being a con man. He's never paid anybody that works under him. What makes you think he cares? He took government documents after he left and took it to Mar-a-Lago and said he didn't have it. When they did the raid, they found him. This man will sell us out to any country. Look at the policies when y'all thinking about voting somebody in, regardless of the skin color, the race, the ethnic background. I don't care what it is. You need to look at the policies, because those are the policies that's going to have you hemmed. These are the people that's going to put you in the hems. This man wants to take away women's rights at all costs. First, he took us with the abortion. Then it was the control of IVFs. You gotta think logically. This man does not want us to succeed. When he said make America great again, you better think about it. When was America ever great? It wasn't. But he wants to take us back to a time where you're begging and pleading. Now
I disagree. I think America has been. I think America.
You're at a cost now where everybody cost of working has grown up. Okay, they're trying to do some kind of reform on the G's. Okay, even though they can't get it all the way across the board because they can't get the Senate and the House to conclusively go on it, but they are doing some kind of reform on it. I mean, I just can't take 2 steps forward to get this man in office for him to take us 50 steps back.
Anyone else?
Yes, I want to say this right here. Also, she's right. You got to look at the policies, but also look at the people you putting in office. Not only the presidency, but the governors, the senators, and everybody else. I'm gonna tell you something. Right? I'm gonna tell you what I did, y'all. I'm ashamed to say this, but I did it though. I remember. I did vote for Montana Green in Georgia because I live in Georgia. When she was talking out here on the campaign trail, and I liked something she was saying, and that's why I had voted for her. But now I'm not voting for her no more, because now she make a complete fool of herself up there, and she can make a complete fool out of Georgia. So I'm not doing it no more. So you also got to look at the candidates who represented us in Washington. I'm not going for it no more. So you got to make sure that you, like she said, make sure the policies that make sure you look at the policies and the people you are putting in office representing you there in Washington. I promise it makes a difference.
I appreciate you. Anyone
Steve, I'd
else?
like to say something real quick.
Go ahead, Sebastian.
I'd like to say this. I believe America, there probably was a time where America was great, where people, could comment on certain political views, certain political opinions without being automatically assumed to be in one political party just by stating their facts. I believe America was probably great when you could just tell people to vote for whoever you want and educate yourself on each candidate without being said that is BS. I believe America was great where we actually upheld democracy and denounced all forms of violence, no matter who committed it. I believe America can be great again, but we have to be unified and we cannot censor any
What day was
speech,
that?
we cannot censor any speech either from Republicans or Democrats. We need to allow both sides the right to speak their opinions and to voice their beliefs. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else before I go?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I really do think that, when, and I'm only speaking to my party right now, that right there on the screen. When we hear BS, we need to call it out. That's how we got in this mess. Not calling out the BS the first time around and selling out this country for $1,200. Whenever I hear someone talking about the stimulus check, I already know they're not doing their homework. Okay, Trump didn't give you no stimulus check. The Congress did. And if all it takes for you to sell out the rights of women and the rights of your children and your grandchildren is $1,200, then I can't tolerate you right now. And yes, I am going to call you out. And I do feel like the only way that we can get a clear line is people need to say what it is, because we're at such a critical point in this election and emotions are high that we need everybody who is with us to say it loud. We can't toe the line and say, oh, well, I still got research to do. Oh, no, I'm still thinking. No, either you're on this side or you're on that side. Because when it comes to Trump and his supporters, they don't have any problems getting out in the street and saying, Trump forever, Trump for king, Trump is the best. No, and then when it comes to the Democrats, now we have to tiptoe the line and we have to whisper about it. No, we need to do our homework. No, we need to do the right thing. Vote blue.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes, one last thing, Diva. I'm gonna need people to please stop coming for Kamala's history as a prosecutor. If she was putting people in jail, they probably committed a crime, and that was her job. So I don't want people to. I've seen her being attacked. Oh, she put people in jail. Yeah, they probably did something they weren't supposed to do. But we gotta look at the bigger picture. That's all.
Diva, I want to say thank you. Diva, I want to say thank you for letting me coming up right now. I'm gonna have to leave. I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna put your belt out on me because I haven't been. But I've been watching your videos and liking your videos too. Okay, is that you become on the opposite time? I have to do my homework for school. Okay,
Well, I'm
so I
proud of
love
you.
y'all.
Listen, do that school homework. That comes first. I appreciate
Yeah.
you.
School. Hi, Sebastian. I want to say I love you, darling. I love y'all.
Love you
Make
too.
y'all have a beautiful and peaceful Sunday night. And go, Kamala Harris, 2004, Kamala Harris. Yes. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night, okay? Bye bye.
Thank you. Listen, guys, I'm here to say vote for who and what policies you want to vote for, right?
Exactly.
Do your research and understand that really the groundwork and the legwork happens before you actually go to vote. And if you really want change to happen. And I think I think that too, that some things we need to take old school where they realize for change to happen, you had to do things a little bit differently. That's why these unions, that's why they strike. So they don't wait to say, well, let's wait till we go to vote to see if we can get better health care, get raises, and get respected as a worker. They're like, no, we got to handle this right here, right now. We're going to strike and demand that we get these better raises, this, that, and the other. So there, to me, are times where you literally, there's some groundwork that has to be done way before you vote. And then that way you have a leg to stand on when you do go to vote, that hopefully there are some policies and procedures that are there that you like to select from. You want to do this groundwork so that the A, B, and C that you have to select from when it's time to vote are some A, B, C, and D's that you can stand for. Not simply just because I believe in said policy or I believe in said party, no matter what happens over there, that's where my vote is going to go. So the only people that can really impact change and not impact just because of a vote is us. You want to stop these high prices with the gas because they have the ability to do whatever they want. You want to stop these high prices with the gas, everybody decide they're going to walk. Park your car, and we won't even need more than 30 days. Park your car for 30 days, and I bet you they change them gas prices. If nobody bought gas for 30 days, I bet you they change those gas prices. Listen, there's a lot that goes on where we can make change. I personally do not, but I have time when I go shopping. I don't use nobody's self-checkout unless that's the only thing that's open and I have no choice. So they have found out because, you know, everything is geared to get another nickel, dime, dollar from us. I don't know about everywhere else, but I know in Jersey they ban plastic bags, but yet and still, some of the bags that we have to purchase when we buy our food, I'm like, this is made out of plastic? Do they think I'm dumb, stupid?
That part.
So now I got to pay $1.99 for the plastic bag that they claim was banned. So, but there's a lot of stuff like that, a lot of little things like that, but it takes us collectively to make change happen. And y'all know I'm gonna call her President Vice VP Harris because I don't want to butcher up her name because y'all got me for that, and I ain't mad at y'all. But the thing is with her too, right? You know, there's this saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I definitely, how do I say this? Diva, there is a screenshot circulating on Twitter of a check that Trump wrote to support VP Harris when she ran for California Attorney General. Listen, because let me tell you, see the thing, Kamala, thank you, Increase Matters. I love you, Kamala. Okay, you know what? I believe that. Listen, we can have a whole separate discussion on just Trump alone, right? Because he plays on the fence. But can I tell you this? Y'all will probably pass out. A lot of people play on the fence. And some of your faves, they play on the fence. But a lot of his playing on the fence, he says verbally. A lot of other people, they play on the fence, but you will only know if you know behind the scenes or some slipped up conversation comes out. He play on the fence. So, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. We would have to have a separate conversation just about Trump, okay? And I do believe that where the Democrats fell short, they waited too long to have this man switch out. But I don't know who's going to be in there besides Kamala. Thank you for that phonetic, thing breakdown for me. We shall see. Time will tell. And I'm still debating with y'all on whether I'm going to do this project 2025, because sometimes y'all give me a headache. I love y'all, but y'all give me a headache. I don't know if I feel like breaking this down and going through it. And I'm willing to if everybody is okay with hearing everybody's side, right? if everybody's okay with, we're going to do agree to disagree and just let the platform be what it is, and the understanding. But I tell you honestly, if you look through it, all of those things are currently happening. When they pull me over, they do whatever the heck they want anyway. If you can connect to what I'm saying, when they pull a person that looks like me over, they do say whatever they want currently to this day. And we pick up an agenda and we drop off that agenda real easy. Real easy. Because from George Floyd, and many have come after him, but the thing keeps happening. Where's our change, right? So anyway, guys, if no one else wants to speak, I'm going to close out there. Thank y'all for this conversation. I appreciate y'all. We're going to see how this thing actually pans out and what's next. Biden is supposed to be speaking later on during the week. We'll see. I don't know. Wait, have a good night. Subscribe and say sorry. Do so crazy, Sebastian. Savannah, did you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did want to say that because I heard some comments and seen some other things in the chat. Thank you to President Biden and Dr. Joe Biden for their 4 years of service and for all the work that he has done. He has created over 750,000 new manufacturing jobs. Unemployment rate, the lowest in 50 years, 3.5, record low of unemployment rate for African Americans. Infrastructure across all 50 states. I know here in the DC, DMV, Virginia area, there's nothing but construction going on our roads and bridges all day, all night, nothing but traffic. And we tend to have patience because we know that it is the infrastructure bill that is working and improving our roads. Nearly 111 million jobs created, not to mention the 40 million borrowers of the student debt loans that he has forgiven. So for people to say that the Biden-Harris ticket hasn't really done much in these last 4 years, I really say go and do your research. And don't vote just straight down a party ticket. Do your research and know on both sides. When I listen to news, I only don't listen nationally, I listen internationally, because here in the United States, our news is filtered. So if you go and listen to BCC or in our Latin communities as well, that's more of an open, and they really share their opinions. But just do your research, people, and absolutely go out and vote. I agree with you on some of your comments, Diva. And Sebastian, my friend, I really, really hope to meet you one day because you and I need to go have a history lesson.
All right, y'all.
And one more thing, Diva. Yeah. I totally agree with Savannah. Listen internationally, because the BBC and Al Jazeera, they also it is a different perspective from the outside. We on the inside dealing with our politics, but the outside gives you a perspective that you can think about and perhaps even differently. And I appreciate Savannah, and I appreciate you, Diva, for letting us have this conversation on Sunday night, because I got things I got to do, but I appreciate
it. I appreciate y'all for being here. I really do. I thank y'all. We always have fun, and everybody always tell everybody, catch the train, don't catch feelings. It's okay. Listen, we all speak after this on this panel. Nobody's, at the end like rah, rah, rah to anybody. We gotta be open to hearing other sides and to hearing everybody's point of view, because you never know what you can learn from another person and each other. I definitely going to say, just everybody vote. Your vote matters, but also do what you can for your piece of life, right? To make a difference in your life. To go back, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'll just do something really quickly when it comes to nursing. There was a nurse. I would have to look up what year it happened, but there was a nurse a while ago. The reason why nurses are licensed is because a nurse spoke up. So before, a long time ago, and some people still feel this way now, people felt like a nurse was only there to wipe your butt, clean up your spit up, whatever the case may be. They had very little respect for the profession of nursing. There was a nurse that said, listen, we go through all of this. We have to carry out doctor's orders. And I'm cutting the story kind of short. And that particular nurse made a change. And that's why we have a license as nurses, right? So I bring that point up to say is the change starts on the low level with us. When you want change to happen, when you want to make a difference, there's things you got to do, the groundwork, so that when it gets leveled up, there's some respect in that situation, right? So all people before us, I think right now that are just, even like a major portion of my life, and y'all know I'm 54, we have not done groundwork like they did way back when. We do not. We are all, and I'm doing a collective right now, and I'm not speaking to any individual. We are self-centered. It's a me world. I don't care if you make it. I'm over here trying to do my thing, and I'm going to rise up to the top of whatever the case may be. Where it seemed way back when, it was more like we're going to work together so that we all can get this change. Where I feel like now everybody is self-centered, and that's why there's no growth, and that's why we don't have change, and that's why we're in like a vicious cycle of seeing the same thing happen over and over and over again. We got a bigger conversation on that, but that's just something I noticed in the way I feel. I have even seen on just jobs that I have been on, like, when I was in college, where everybody would be 1 minute like, we're going to all band together for this change to happen. And then when you look back, you're the only one there now still trying to speak up for the change, and nobody else is still backing you. It's very messy. But anyway, guys, chat with me later on if you have some other comments that you want to put on this particular subject. When I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you go out there and you vote, and do your due diligence. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, guys. Hit the like